need to reload my iced coffee. Good morning, Pete. Real quick, I didn't feel like shooting videos, so I was gonna go live and talk about Bitcoin a little bit in about 15, 20 minutes or so. It's gonna be a long chat because I have a busy day. Good morning, people. It's 10 a.m. Um, I'm watching the stock market closely as I am actively trading. It has been a good couple of days. How's everyone's doing? Real quick, let's focus on Bitcoin. Last time that I talked about Bitcoin specifically was when Bitcoin hit the all-time high, I believe. I think. I could be wrong. Anyhow, let me see here. Hopefully my connection won't be so terrible. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is acting up, but I need to buy a new I have a Google Wi-Fi right now. I need to buy a Google Nest to upgrade, to improve my Wi-Fi. Anyhow, what you see on the screen here is some information that I think a lot of people in the crypto area is not talking about. As usual, hello Todd Holbeck. As usual, YouTube is filled with people talk about crypto with a whole lot of nonsense, because facts, information, useful information are often boring instead of sensational headlines of crazy prediction, Bitcoin to 200,000, Bitcoin to 400,000, 500,000, a million. Good God. But hey, that's what the young people like to see, okay? Because that's fun, that's exciting, that's what we like to hear hypes. Yeah. That's what we like to hear. That's what the young people like to hear. Or not just young, that's what the newer investor in crypto like to hear. That's what, well, if you hear, you know, this channel, me, I'm not about to give crazy prediction. Since I started to talk about crypto over a year ago, I have never once make any kind of price prediction because it's all fooey to me. Hello, BT's the moon guy. Not to the moon this week. Anyhow, let's go and talk what I put on the screen for everyone to see. Everyone has been talking about Bitcoin ETF forever. At least this year, okay? For sure, 2021 has been a year of let's talk about ETF. The ETF is coming. The ETF is coming. Bitcoin is going to moon when the ETF is here. And if anything, the ETF and Gensler, the man that had the SEC, is illustrating to everyone to see that power come with corruption. Okay, Gensler is all in on crypto for years. He even have classes. You can see the video on YouTube when he talk about crypto, Bitcoin, all of that stuff. He was all in. He loved it. Now that he got appointed to the SEC, he's all concerned. He's all worried. He's all not sure how, whatever, okay? Let me give you the ETA Nick rundown of all the BS with crypto and why I think those of us that believe in crypto should learn to be more patient and things will work out, okay? Ever since Wall Street bought into crypto and started to believe in crypto late last year, I talk about this many times. I remind people on almost every video. Once Wall Street get into the game, you're gonna see more volatility, which equal more manipulation. Okay, because that's what Wall Street, the big boys, do very well, both on the Wall Street, what you see in the stock market, what you see in the crypto market. Have you ever seen Goldman Sachs issue a quarterly earning where they lost money trading? Have you? Have anyone? How often? I'm sure it has happened once or twice in the many decades, but how often do you see Goldman Sachs come out and say, oh my God, we have a terrible quarter, we lost billions? No, it's the other way around, okay? It's the other way around. They make billions in trading every quarter after quarter after quarter, okay? Wall Street is about the one with the big money manipulating things the way they need to get what they want. Okay. Here is the thing with Ginsler and the ETF that nobody want to talk about. Look at what's on your screen. Okay. Those are the four largest gold ETF. Four largest gold ETF. Of course, GLD is the most popular one, right? Just look at how much money is invested in those top four gold ETF. Okay, if you add up the number, 90 over 80 billion, over 80. Well, let me do the math. Okay, 6, 7, 8, more like 90 billion. Okay, 90 billion in gold ETF. 90 billion. Do you know how long it took Michael Saylor to accumulate 3 billion in Bitcoin? Something like that. Okay, I think he has more now, but it started with 1 and then 1.2 and then 1.5 and then 2, whatever it is. But how long it took Michael Saylor to accumulate 3 billion in Bitcoin? A long time, months. And he did that before Wall Street start to ramp up and bought into Bitcoin. They are there now. Do you think the SEC is going to approve a Bitcoin BTF before the Goldman Sachs of the world has a chance to accumulate enough Bitcoin to issue an ETF? How many people here think that an ETF in the US is going to happen before Goldman Sachs or one of the big boys accumulate 5-10 billion dollar worth of Bitcoin? If you're one of these channel on YouTube or you listen to any channel that talk about ETF the last 6 months, I it's common sense, okay? It's common sense to me. If you know how the stock market works, it's just not going to happen until the big boys get enough. Whatever that number is, I have no idea. Do I think that Goldman Sachs and the rest of the other 5 or 6 companies want to do ETF, want to accumulate 90 billion in Bitcoin? No, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. But let's say between the 5 or 6 companies that want to get into the game and issue ETF, you think, is it unreasonable to think that they want to accumulate 10, 15, 20 billion in Bitcoin? Okay, so it takes time. It takes time for them to grab those things. It takes time for them to manipulate and pull the rug from all the morons that keep leveraging up. That's what you see. You see liquidity break at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., and billions are taken away from people. Oh, this game, this manipulation game is not going to end until they get enough to issue the ETF. Okay, it's just it mind boggles how the rest of YouTube are so stupid. Okay, nobody's talking about this. Everyone talk about ETF as if like they can issue ETF. You think company can just go out there and issue an ETF and where do you think that asset is gonna come from? Where do you think they need to buy the Bitcoin? A whole lot of it, billions of it. Okay, so it ain't gonna happen until they get enough, whatever that number is. We don't know. Okay, nobody knows for sure unless you work for Goldman Sachs in the crypto department and you have a goal. We need to accumulate at least $5 billion worth of Bitcoin to launch the ETF. Well, guess what? It's gonna take a while for everyone to accumulate enough Bitcoin for the SEC to issue the ETF. Okay, that's all. Anything else is just nonsense. Anything else are just wishful thinking. Can it happen sometime in 2022? Sure. Okay. Now, in many ways, I'm glad that Bitcoin did not go to 98,000 at the end of last month. I'm also glad that it is struggling right here because I really want people to stop thinking that Bitcoin is some kind of robotic things that move so predictably. Okay, it's that's not how the stock market works. Okay? That's not how any market works. Okay, to think that it's gonna move. I said this many times to many people over the past year. When something happened 2 times in a row, it is a coincidence. That's what happened the Bitcoin cycle the previous 2 times. Okay, everyone and I was included. I follow Bitcoin back in 2017, right? And then I follow it more closely in 2019 to understand it. And sure, I heard about the halving, the cycle, the patterns, all of that, but I came off that a while ago. Okay, I start to doubt the pattern is going to repeat itself before 2021. And for sure, I had came off that the last few months because I really think that now that the big boy is in the picture, by big boys, I mean Wall Street, they are going to manipulate the market, push it wherever they need to push it to get what they want. Okay. And right now, what they want is more Bitcoin to load up their bags so that they can issue an ETF. And the SEC is not going to do anything until he gets the thumbs up from the big boys. Okay, so welcome to politics and corruption, Mr. Ginsler. Okay, it's plain as day for me to see. I'm not sure if other people see the same thing I'm seeing because nobody else is talking about it. People are talking about ETF for the past 6 months. If you just knew and just joined the chat, I put up on the screen. The top 4 gold ETF have $90 billion of asset. That means that they hold $90 billion worth of gold. So for ETF, for Bitcoin ETF to happen, the big boys need to accumulate enough Bitcoin. Until they accumulate enough, they can't do it. Okay, you can't. Oh, the ETF is approved, but we don't have enough money. We barely have a few millions in Bitcoin. You think Goldman Sachs is going to want to see something like that happen? It ain't gonna happen. Okay, that's why they create the Bitcoin future ETF because you know why? Because it's easier to manipulate the market with the future. Okay, the SEC approved the Bitcoin future ETF that does not have to buy any Bitcoin, but it can manipulate Bitcoin. Yeah, yeah. It's sad. It is sad, but it is what it is. Okay, I just a need to spell things out for people that just don't understand how the market works and are caught up in the hype, the pump, the daily nonsense on YouTube from the other 85,000 channels that talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, if anyone tell you about ETF is coming and this and that, hopefully now you understand why it has not happened yet. Okay, the ETF can only happen when the big boys accumulate enough Bitcoin. 6 months ago, there's no way. I already talked about it. Michael Saylor took a long time to accumulate his billions, and they want a lot more. Okay, trust me. Michael Saylor may have bought 3 billion worth of Bitcoin before the big boys want to get in, but now that they're trying to get some, they're gonna do everything they can to keep Bitcoin down here at this level. Doesn't matter if it's 40 or 50. That's where they want it. Okay. Uh, I that's why for the past all year on my channel, I have yet to say anything or predict anything about Bitcoin is going to be 100K at the end of the year. I had my doubts all year. I'm just like, I don't care what model people are using. I don't care what stock to flow. Or, I don't care about any of the models. Okay, I see it. I only see Bitcoin go much higher after the big boys got enough Bitcoin and the ETF is launched. Okay. Until then, they are going to keep it down here. And this is just going to illustrate to you all the nonsense talk that you talk about how Bitcoin is the power of the people, this power of people, that. And no, when big money want to control something, it will. Okay. It will. Yes, I heard about George Perez and bless his heart. You know, he have lived a good life. Okay, no doubt about it. He has lived a good life. Anyone over 80, you know, eh, let me put it this way. My dad is 87. Okay, he's not in perfect health. He has suffered 2 strokes, 2 small strokes. He was partially paralyzed on the left side of his body for a few months, had to go through physical therapy. This is 3 or 4 years ago. And he suffered a second milder stroke 2 years ago, which also set him back. And my family, my siblings constantly talk about, oh, we're so worried about dad. And I'm like, he's 87. 87. He can go to bed at night and not wake up tomorrow. Okay. It's it's sad, but it's a reality. Okay. Live in the reality. Okay. It's not um it's nothing it's not to be it's not to put the light that my father's death is going to be something not painful for all of us, but at the same time he lived a good life. Somebody corrected me. Josh Perez is only 67. I thought he was older. My bad. And I think he has stage 3 pancreatic cancer, which is when you hear stage 3 cancer of any sort, it's never a good thing. That I do know because I had friends that died after they were diagnosed with stage 3 or stage 4 cancer, and it is horrific. It is horrific. My best friend, I told this story many times. My best friend I ever had passed away when he was, how old was he? 40, 41. Yeah, he was diagnosed with brain cancer, and he passed away 5.5 months later. It was quick. He went from being completely healthy, him and his wife, complete health nuts, the kind of people that run marathons, super fit, and then boom, brain cancer, stage 4, stage 3, I think. He went from completely healthy, or at least we all thought he was healthy, to being bedridden within 2 months, where he can no longer walk, and then by the fourth month of his cancer, he was blind because the brain. Okay, he's blind. He can no longer eat, and then at the start of the fifth month, he was feeding through the tube because his body shut. Basically, he can no longer talk, see. He can hear. He can squeeze his hand. Horrific death. It was one of the most painful thing to see his family go through that 5.5 months. Awful, god awful. So yes, George Perez. Well, Marco, I will tell you this. It's not about regulation, okay? Trying to understand something. Regulation can be done very quickly. All of this is theater. All of this is bullshit. All of this is procrastination, delaying for the big boys to accumulate as many Bitcoin as they can. I make it very clear. Okay, very clear. Okay, it's all BS. If you understand Wall Street, if you understand how things work, it's nothing but bullshit. Okay, it is what it is. But please don't repeat the nonsense that you hear on TV or YouTube. Okay, fuck the regulation. Okay, it ain't hard. It's not fucking rocket science. They talk about the ETF for a year. Why not sit down and talk about regulation a year ago, right? It's just procrastination, delay bullshit. It is. Hello, Brouhaha, you here? Favorite name. Every time I see it, I had to say it. Brouhaha. Yes, stage 3, god awful. Have anyone come out alive with a stage 3? Let me know if I'm wrong, okay? Because to me, every time I hear stage 3 cancer, I hear a death. It's like a stage 4 is like quick, okay, real quick. I mean, stage 3 is like, by that point, you're trying anything you can. You throw the kitchen sink. I think my friend who was living in New York City at the time, in Brooklyn, he went to Columbia Medical, and I think his family put him under every single test, uh, experimental drug, you name it. They tried everything under the sink, and he deteriorated so quick. It was absolutely brutal, and he died. I mean, he's basically shut off to the point where his body is just I remember his doctor telling his wife he can die on any given day, because he literally but he hung on and died on his birthday. Insane. That was so insane. It was so insane. I can't talk about it anymore without breaking down and cry, because it was so insane to see what happened on that day, on his birthday. It was so insane. It's more that I still remember that day like it is today. It is so insane. Oh my God. I need to move on that one because yeah, but yeah, it's you know, and I think Josh Perez is blind in one eye, and he is going to try to do some more signing in the next. You know, I wish he doesn't have to do that. Okay, to me, if you have 6 months or whatever left to live, I hope he will spend that time with his family instead of trying to squeeze a few $1,000s. I mean, if you're a fan of George Perez, I wish he would start you know, GoFundMe kind of thing, and people can donate $5, $10, whatever, to raise a couple $100,000, whatever it is, instead of him signing something. Really, do you need to have his signature to give him money if you are his fan? Enough already. Enough already. Okay? George Perez signed a million things. You know, if he start a GoFundMe, if anybody know, let me know, and I will donate some money. You know, I mean, I think everybody should. If you're a fan of George Perez, hey, if each person, if each one of his fan just donate $10, right? He can easily accumulate $1 million. Does he need to sign 5,000 fucking books? Come on, fans. Bunch of fucking assholes. Enough of that fucking signing shit, okay? Just start. I hated people that just stop. Just give him 10. If each person give him $10, immediate he had 100, trust me, he can raise $1 million without having to sign 5,000 fucking books sitting there. Okay, enough. Fuck the signature. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Jesus. If I were George Perez, I said, if I was a friend of George Perez, I start a GoFundMe and tell him, go enjoy your last 6 months with your family. Okay, you done enough with your fan. Saying goodbye to your fans are different than sitting there and sign 5,000 fucking books. Period. I read the same thing. I'm not stupid. Fuck the signing. You know, it's enough. Enough with the fucking signature. Indeed. Okay, indeed. Family first. You think you I hate to say this, but there's a big difference between sitting there. Well, he's saying what he's saying because he think he need to do it. Okay, come on, people. Okay, there's nothing wrong. If I was, you know, if George, you know how Stanley used to have like this big meet and greet where you pay a lot of money, like $500 to have dinner with him. You know, do you want to meet your fans? There's many ways to appreciate your fans without having to give them something like a signature. Okay, it's well, I understand where he's coming from because I think he came from a culture that he spent the last decade plus of his life signing hundreds of thousands of books to make a living. Okay, he made a lot of money signing books. So, you know, I'm sure part of his thinking is, you know, I need to leave behind a little bit more for my family. So I'm going to sign. I mean, he's saying all the right thing for people. You know, it's nothing wrong what he wants to do. But given a choice between signing 5,000 books and sit there, or just say hi to your fans, take pictures, shaking hands, all that stuff, what would you rather do? What would any of you rather do? Sit there and sign 10,000 books, 5,000, whatever. Because a lot of dipshits out there think that they can make money off my dead signature, or have a meet and greet at every convention. I don't want to know if he can travel, right? And people can pay you $10 to take a picture with him. What I have said this many times before. If I ever meet anyone famous, I would rather sit down, have them take a picture. That's the memory I want. Okay, shaking a hand, picture of me giving a person a hug, shaking the hand. That means something. I couldn't give a shit about a signature. A shit. Okay, it just. But yeah, I'm sure I just offended a whole bunch of people that think signature means something more. Well, a picture means a whole lot more to me. Exactly, brouhaha. Okay, he think he need to do this to make more money. I get it. He's saying things because he felt the need to give the fans something to get the money. Fuck that. Fuck that. Okay? Just give him the money. Nothing in return. I don't want, he already gave me enough. I don't need any fucking signature to give him the money. Okay? So fuck you all if you want a fucking signature to give him the money. Fuck you. I'm so pissed off when I hear people like, oh, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get, fuck the signature. Just give him the money. Anyhow, enough F-bomb for the day, but I get it off my chest because ever since I saw that statement yesterday, I was pissed. Okay, enough with this signature fucking bullshit. Enough. So if you see a GoFundMe thing for George Perez, please let me know. I'm not, sometimes I miss those kind of things, and I'd be happy to donate. Trust me, if 10,000 people, and he has a lot more than 10,000 fans, I'm sure. If we all give him $100, it's $1 million. Bang, done. No need to sign no fucking 5,000, 10,000 books. Fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. Anyhow, time for me to go. Well, Landry Fire, I don't think anybody here disagree with you. Okay, that's what he's thinking. If if you just came in, go back and listen to the last 15 minutes of my rant. Okay, you're missing the boat here. Yeah, just start a GoFundMe and we can all put in $25, $50, whatever. Just give him the money. No need to make him work. The man is sick and dying. It's utterly fucking bullshit for anyone to expect something in return to give him money. Go fuck yourself. Go absolutely fuck yourself. All right, I'm out of here.